What's up, Princess? Coming to you from the Self-Actualization. Today I want to talk about a topic I get so many questions about, and that's how to start from the bottom, from nothing, from scratch, from zero. Start from the bottom, now we here, rags to riches. All these things, one of the biggest questions I get all the time. So what I'm going to talk about in this video, and what I'm going to give you in this video, is a practical strategy of how you can start from absolute zero, nothing, from scratch. And after this video, you have no excuses for why you don't take action and get your business started. Let's go! Before I get down to starting your business from scratch, I want to take you way back to a time before we had things like money, currency, and credit cards. All the way back to when we were in little villages, and the only way to get goods from other people was to trade. Now, you might know this as the bartering system, but one of the things that people used to exchange goods was bartering. They would trade things. So you might roll in town, you had your cart full of chickens and cows, or all kind of other shit, and you would roll up and see something that you wanted. Maybe you saw some food, maybe you saw some livestock, some animals, and all you would do is walk up and trade for it. Now, fast forward a couple thousand years, the same rules still apply in our mind. People are always willing to trade for things that they find valuable. And this is one of the most missed things when it comes to entrepreneurship, is the ability to look at trade in others. So how does this really apply to when it comes to starting your business from scratch? Now, what I'm going to talk about before we get to that is the ultimate resource that you have starting your business from scratch. So I firstly want to explain to you a concept that you need to understand if you want to start from scratch, and that's understanding what's the ultimate resource at your disposal. Now, you might be tempted to say one thing, but what do you think the most or the ultimate resource is? I'll wait. You might have been tempted to say something like money, or maybe you said something like time. That's a pretty good resource, and of course that's a great resource. Or maybe if you're looking a bit more out externally, you might say, oh, connections, resources, things like that. Well, you would be wrong in all these things, because the ultimate resource is resourcefulness. I'm going to say that again. The ultimate resource is resourcefulness, because with resourcefulness, you can get any other resource. That means money, that means physical properties, that means connections. All those things can be gained through resourcefulness. But now, I'm not just going to leave you just saying that, because of course that's like a buzzword, that's cliche, right? Oh, you got to be resourceful, you got to understand how to use your faculties. And I'm going to talk about a practical strategy that I learned, and something that I use in order to build my business from absolutely nothing and start making progress. And that's a concept that I call unique value assets. So unique value assets. I want to talk about this concept because this is the only way I would have been able to build a business. I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway otherwise. I had no money in the bank account, nothing, literally no money. I didn't have any rich people, any entrepreneur mentors, anybody to help me starting out. So I realized very quickly that I did have one asset. I had spent, after I dropped out of college, I spent years just kind of reading, gaining more and more knowledge, And what I realized was that that knowledge was valuable to the people around me, because I had people around me, friends, family, who wanted to start their businesses, but they didn't know how. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to take their ideas and turn them into something that would be a reality. So what I decided to do was take those unique value assets that I learned, things like marketing, things about learning about like programming, things about learning like film, cinematography, and I decided to exchange it for the things that I needed in order to start progressing in business. So say, for example, I would go to my friend, say, Willpower. And I say, look, man, I'm going to help you with your business, but I need access to this type of venue. I know you know this person. They can give me this venue. And he said, that's cool. You help me do the marketing. I'll help you get the venues you need. So that became a unique value asset that I can exchange. And what's so interesting about unique value assets is you can exchange them like currency. They're almost like trading cards. You have one asset, you could trade it for another person for another asset. And those assets come together to create something that you can use instead of things like money and resources and currency. And now, the best way to use unique value assets is to understand another key principle, which is that your unique value assets are something that you can use to exchange, not just for other resources, but also monetary value. Let's say you're trying to purchase something, you don't have the money to get it. Well, you can use your unique value asset to help somebody in another business, and they'll exchange that asset for money. It's pretty much how business works in general, right? You build a skill or some skill that's outside of maybe what you want to do, and then you use that skill in order to acquire the resources for the thing you want. So take a product. If you're a person who sells a product, but you know how to market a product really well, you could take those same marketing services, help another business, and then you get the money and the resources to get the product that you want. And it's pretty easy to build a unique value asset. It doesn't have to be something that's over the top, overblown. Because you might be saying right now, well, this all sounds good, but you read a lot of books. You did a lot of stuff to build those unique value assets. How can I build a unique value asset? I'm going to talk about how simple unique value assets can be with an example my good friend, Willpower, the Nightlife Architect. You might be asking yourself, or you might be saying to yourself, I don't have a unique value asset. Well, like I said before, they're easy to build. But I'm pretty sure you have a unique value asset that you're not looking at. Now, I want to use this example to show you how simple a unique value asset can be. Now, my good friend Willpower, he's going to be mad as hell that I do this, but when we were starting off, we didn't have a lot of access to places, venues, or anything like that. So how did he go about getting these venues? Well, he realized that he had a very particular unique value asset that other people did not have. Willpower. He had a bunch of beautiful women that he could get around at any given point. Now, I don't know how he knew all these women. When I first met him, he probably knew the most women I had ever seen.
I don't know what Princeton was speaking about. Talking about, I know a lot of girls, I know a lot of women. That's crazy. Like, if I knew a lot of women, it would be a bunch of fucking ducks behind me. You know what I'm saying? It would be a bunch of ducks, geese, and a big ass lake behind me if I knew a whole bunch of women. You get what I'm saying? Oh shit.
But this unique value asset allowed him to connect people with a lot of money to these high quality women that he was able to bring around. Now, you might be saying to yourself, wow, that's crazy, but that's a very simple thing. Take for example, dating. People want to meet high quality people. So people look at a club maybe and be like, oh, it's just people going out there having fun and all this type of stuff. But really, what is happening? You're connecting people. You're putting people together. So he's not really so much somebody who's, I guess you could say, bringing a bunch of girls together. What he's doing is connecting people. He had a unique value asset that he was able to connect people. He could connect these type of women who wanted to meet guys. He could connect these type of dudes who wanted to meet women. And now those dudes, those guys, or those women were willing to give him things because he connected them. A very simple and unique value asset that Will had, something that I didn't even have, that he used in order to get a lot of the things that we wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. Now, this is something that people have in their lives in general. Unique value assets, but they're not learning to look at what they have and what they could use and to give somebody else to start from scratch. If you're going to start from scratch, you're going to have to be resourceful. You're going to have to learn to use the things in your repertoire, in your library, the things that you have available to you in order to be successful. It's not going to come down to having my skills, me having Will's skills. It's all of us using the skills that we know we had in order to start building these businesses from scratch. But I'm going to make this even simpler for you. There's one unique value asset that every person who is alive, walking around, if you're still breathing, you're watching this video right now, you have this unique value asset that you can contribute to anybody, and people are willing to give you stuff because of it. And I'm going to talk about that next. What's the number one asset that I know you have, that I have, that everybody else has, and especially when you're starting from scratch? That is time. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, you know, I got work, I got bills, I got stuff to do. I don't have that much time, but really you do. One of my favorite things I ever heard in entrepreneurship was the for that principle. I think this comes from Warren Buffett. I'm not sure exactly who said it. I think he said it. He said, whenever you say you don't have time, just put the word for that in front of it. So I have friends right now. I got one of my friends. He works and he started his business. And he started off in corporate America. And of course, he has his job, but I wouldn't say he had a lot of time for his business on the side. But all his extra time went to his business. If you ever want to get out of the day-to-day grind, if you ever want to get out of, say for example, if you feel like you're stuck in corporate America, if you ever want to get to that level, you're going to have to be able to sacrifice that time. Everybody around you, every person is willing to allow you, or every person around you is willing to take the time that you have in order to help them accomplish the things they want. And you can leverage that time in order to get to where you want to be. Now, I've actually worked a lot for free. I've done a lot of work for free. I've given my time to a lot of people for free. And people always ask, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this for this person for free? Why are you doing it for that person for free? And people didn't understand the strategy long term, that I was leveraging my time to get the things that I needed. So say, for example, I needed some credibility for my program. Why not just go do that program for somebody for free, then use the testimonial or use that person or the program succeeding for that person in order to help me grow my business? See, none of it's lost. You're leveraging the time, and other people are willing to take that time. So sometimes you might have to work for free. Sometimes you might have to do stuff that's slightly outside of what you're used to doing in order to get the resources to get to what you want to do. As simple as that. You can leverage your time. There's not a person watching this right now who can't find the time. There's probably some bullshit you're doing. I've said it before. If you're sitting at home watching playing Madden, if you're sitting at home watching Netflix all the time, and you say, I want to be successful in business, well, guess what has to get cut out? That's what has to get cut out. And once you get your business going, you can get right back to watching your Netflix. You can make time for this stuff. But at a certain point, you have to accept that you're going to have to put in the work. You have to put it in the time. Other people are always looking for time. That's what rich people pay for. They're paying you to work for them. When you go to a job, what do you think people are paying you for? They're paying for your skills to a degree, but they're paying for time. Let's say, for example, right now, if I wanted to edit 20 videos, of course, there's only so much time that I have that I can edit those videos. But what if I hired 20 other people? Then I could edit my videos in the same time it takes me to edit one, I could edit 20 because I paid for that time. People are always willing to give away that time. People are always willing to take time off your hands. And you exchange that time and make sure it's in something that's going to allow you to get to where you want to be. Don't just exchange time for shit that's not taking you anywhere, because that's another pitfall you can fall into. So with that, I want to leave you with your massive action challenge for this week, and we'll get to that in a second. To wrap this up, the first thing I want you to remember is the ultimate resource, resourcefulness. With that, you can get everything else. Don't sit around, bitch and complain about what you don't have. Just be resourceful and find the way to get it. You have things at your disposal right now that can help you get to where you want to be. It's all about taking the time to sit down and think about what you have and using it. And also remember, develop unique value assets. It doesn't matter what it is. If you don't know anything about marketing, if you just read 10 books about marketing and then you helped your friends' businesses with marketing, you would know way more than most people know about marketing. Simple as that. Take time to develop unique value assets and seeing what unique value assets you can use to help other people out. And remember, they don't have to be that elaborate. They can be something as simple as Will and knowing girls. Also, time. You have time. Don't sit there and lie. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to anybody. You have time. You have time. Just remember, if you're saying you don't have time, just put for that in front of it, because that's the only reason you're not going to get to where you want to be. Not willing to sacrifice the time, the other bullshit that you're doing in order to get to where you want to be. So I want to leave you with your massive action challenge for the week, and this is developing unique value assets. So what I want you to do, I want you to think about what you need, because without knowing what you need, it doesn't matter what unique value assets you have. You're not going to be able to acquire much because you don't know what you want. And I want you to take the assets that you have, write down all the list of skills, abilities that you have, things that you have access to. So if you have special access to, I don't know, it could be something simple as a club. Say if you have access to places or venues that people really need to get to. Say you have access to friends or family members, or something that people you know need, that have the ability, now this is the key distinction, that have the ability to get things that you need. Write that down. Now, what I want you to do after that, look at all your unique value assets, and I want you to practically start going out and getting the things that you need. That's what I'm saying. Exchange the UVAs that you have for the other resources that you need. Simple as that. That's your currency. That's what I use for my currency for the longest. It's really about not making excuses at this point. You have UVAs, or you can develop UVAs. Take the time to develop these things, and that will become your currency. That's what you can exchange for currency, or you can exchange for other things and get the resources that you need. So if you have an idea, there's no excuse. If you're saying that you don't have the money, there's no excuse. You saying you don't have the time, there's no excuse. You have to at some point stop bullshitting with yourself and just really take it seriously and get out there and do it. With that being said, join the Massive Action Movement, like and subscribe for more. Let's take some action.